This UFL Week 4 Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits.
This is Terry Francona, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. I had to dust it off, Sean. Roughnecks are back, baby.
Kramer rocking the Houston Roughnecks hoodie. Joining us on the line to talk all things United football. You know him, you love him, from the UFL Gambling Podcast, Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
Hold on, Colby's not here yet.
Okay,
we'll have to fire the producer. Hold on. All right, now Colby's here.
Colby, what's happening? Glad that you showed up. I know, surprise considering the UFL, everyone's taking a leave of absence. Good to know Colby, not one of them. Walk us through the latest coach bailouts. I mean, Ken Wisenhunt, who took a leave of absence, missed the first game, came back, coached the second and third game, and now is taking another leave of absence. Get us up with the latest coaching bailouts.
Yeah, so Ken Wisenhunt, who missed the opening first week of United football action where crossroads meet bullshit.
Family first.
Well, no, yeah, he had a date scheduled for his wife that they were going to Napa. So they missed, it was a family matter, tragic family matter in the first week, but then came back, lost 2 games for the team, then decided to quit. Said this shit's not for him. Now they go back to the interim. They did hire a new OC yesterday. So
really?
They hired Noel Mazzone. Mazzone, I believe. As the OC. Then we had, the San Antonio Brahmas, AJ Smith and Wade Phillips got into it. AJ Smith quit a week ago. They went to a Peyton Party, the grandson of Jack Party, the Redskin great there. And then after a decent showing by Peyton Party, Wade Phillips, their head coach, he quit. He said, "I've had enough of this action." And so you've got obviously the DC Defenders.
Brahmas did cover, didn't get the win. Wade Phillips did cover the 5.5. Not great week for the show picks wise. Feels like, I don't know, with the coaching stuff, it is really, that was the easiest part of the handicap, is the coaching style. Now the coaches are all up in the air. So we lost Wade Phillips. We've lost Wisenhunt, or Wisenhunt as CJ calls him. Any other coaches give up on the season? And what the hell is happening? Are they getting paid? I feel like it's going to come out that they're not getting paid. Like, why else would they? Wade Phillips said, "Oh, hey, I'm 77 years old." He was 77 years old week 1. What has changed? What am I missing, Colby?
Yeah, I don't know. Some people are saying he's sick. I have no idea if that's accurate or not. I just know that once again, I just don't think you hire young and hungry coaches. I think that would be, I mean, I know AJ Smith is young, but he'd never been a head coach. Just go get a real head coach that knows. I don't know. I think, the Wisenhunt thing, all those ones are lazy to me. You know what I mean? I guess Reggie Barlow, you can't blame him because that was just a better opportunity. He's still working, but the Wisenhunt, Phillips, I guess, I don't know. It's a
wait. Who's coaching the Brahmas now?
Party. Peyton
really?
Party.
So you already got the he
1
got
week he did so
week.
good. Only lost by 3 and covered. So now he's the head football coach.
They did have a little pulse going offensively. I'll give him that.
Well, he had this crazy idea of getting Anthony McFarland the ball, and it was it worked out pretty well. Even though I still think he should focus on that a little bit more, but Yeah, so you got the coaching, obviously, all the defenders coaches too, currently working with Tennessee State, a lot of those guys. So it's a bit of taboo and chaos, which makes me like my Birmingham Stallions future and my Arlington Renegades future even more, because those are two coaches where there is still continuity with Bob Stoops and Skip Holtz.
Now why does he call it a leave of absence though? Like, I mean, the leave of absence sounds like he might come back, but why not just quit? There's like what, 5 games left?
Leave of absence again?
No. Wizenhunt said he had it. Wade Phillips called it a leave of absence.
Well, he is 77 years old, so I mean, maybe I have no idea what's going on with him. But then again, why hire a 77-year-old coach to do this?
There was one of the UFL, I think it's UFL Daily on X. One of the few. There's not a lot of reliable reporting on the UFL, but they did share this video of Wade Phillips. Not sure when it was actually from. Maybe last year celebrating their championship, but YouTube.com/sportsgambling podcast. Wade Phillips dancing on the stage with some of the players. He's got his hat on. He still has his lanyard. He has like a plaid checkered dress shirt tucked into some sort of like Dockers, and he's shaking hands and dancing. Oh, it's all time. So he can still get around.
This was always his move though, right? Like part of the reason part of how you get yourself to labeled as a player's coach is how you dance. You let videos of the locker room get out where you're dancing and celebrating, right? We've seen this. This is like the script as old as it's as long as cell phone cameras have been around. The idea of getting in the good graces of the fans of your team, show that you're cool. And that was always why we like literally go find me a story as to why Wade Phillips is a player's coach, other than that he's soft as fuck and he likes to dance with his players. That's it.
I don't know any other Wade Phillips dancing stories.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
He did it all the time when he was with the Cowboys later. But yeah, definitely. In fact, I bet you we could find him dancing with at least 3 different teams.
Okay.
Well,
now I might have some journalism here, some reporting.
I am seeing Wade Phillips shows off his dance moves for Super Bowl 50. So yeah. I didn't realize he was such a dancer.
Remember when he bailed on us to be on vacation? Yeah, probably dancing down there in Hawaii.
Colby's still pissed. He tries to be impartial, but you can tell he still feels burned that Wade said, I can't make it. Something came up, and then he's out at Hawaii for what was it for? Like the Pro Bowl or something, Colby?
Yeah, it was some draft. I don't even think it was Hawaii. I think it was like Frisco, Texas, where he's like, I'm on vacation. We had it scheduled. He was down to do it, and then he said, "I'm sorry, I'm on vacation." And then, us being just complete football junkies, we're watching some like combine or some shit in Frisco. And Wade Phillips is there, like, what
floating
the fuck?
Around. Son of a bum.
Yeah, he's no Bum Phillips. Bum Phillips, man of his word. All right,
Kramer. What was you had some inside info?
Well, all right. So we've been into this league now for a little bit. We've uncovered some things that. At least, maybe they're not intentionally deceiving and it's being nefarious, but their incompetence is leading to the illusion that not everyone at the UFL is looking to do the best for the UFL. We know this first hand, second hand, third hand, and if there was a fourth hand, we would know it, which maybe that's what this is. So if you're a corporation, and again, they're obviously approaching the UFL like a corporation. They merged multiple leagues. Why would you do that? Reduce overhead, treating it like a corporation. Well, what do you do when things start to go bad in a corporation? You let people go. Now, what do all these coaches have in common? Player first, old guys. Don't take the money from the players. Take it from me. Fight back and forth. We make it look like a family situation. You come back, they make it seem like things are going to be right. They're not right. You decide to step away. Ken Wisenhunt. The Tennessee State situation could just very well be like, I'm going to overtly signal that this league is falling apart. I'm taking another job.
I really don't think they're getting
old guy says, don't take the money away from my players. Take it from me. Steps away. Takes a leave, quote unquote. Maybe that helps him keep.
Well, they get paid by the hour.
No, what I'm trying to tell you is, I think this is a league that we're going to find out very soon there has been some sort of cut, layoff, reduction of salary to
But
a
they're
number of
expanding.
positions.
That's where I get.
Well, hold on. That's why, right? What do corporations do to create the illusion of stockholder value? They grow, right? Think about the gambling companies. Well, and we'll have this many more users when California become up, stock price goes up. They're doing the same thing.
Is this why
They're
the CFL gambling podcast is back?
It's an insurance policy. So
it's a scam.
What if I'm just saying we're going to get breaking news potentially? If any of these, we need to find a good hard hitting USFL journalist who is willing to do the deed.
Well,
because I believe that whatever happened between the military and the Rock and the UFL and UFL Jeff, like I've worked for dirty corporations before. I understand what's going on here. This is a clear tactic to extract value from something and leave it with nothing.
I think
that's why these old heads are walking away.
Now they're getting some sponsorship money from Underdog, but the big reason why it was a league last year was because of the money they were getting from the Army. What has replaced that Army sponsorship money? I can't. Someone who watches the game.
Phillips' salary, Ken Wisenhunt's salary.
I think
King of Spring book sales.
King of Spring is propping him up.
But Sean, you got to feel pretty good about your take when we had that UFL Jeff Sucks episode last year of saying we will last longer than the UFL. Now,
oh my God, yes, that is a lead pipe lock.
Well,
they did say they're adding two franchises, though.
Yeah, well, of course. To Kramer's point, you dilute the product.
You want to bet?
You know, you got a kilo of Coke. You got to get some baby powder. Step on it. Get it out to the streets.
I'll bet you right now that we never get to 10 teams in the UFL.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
right now,
who's betting on the UFL?
What spring organization has outlasted us? They're all crooked.
Even in the Discord, it's just the Discord channel is labeled spring football. Why? Because we were tired of changing it from XFL, AAF, USFL, UFL. Just call it spring football. Some patsy will come in and think he can figure out spring football. That being said, I still like betting on it.
World League / NFL Europe did last like 15 years or something, 16 years, something like that. So that was a good run. That was a good run.
Can we take a pause to a little European football aside? Did you know, Colby, that the Milano Seamen, to which I'm donning some sick ass colors behind me, they are no longer a professional football team. It's from what I can tell, they're just training youth football like camps and shit. They're no longer in the Italian or European football leagues.
Did they hire John Gruden or something? Did they destroy
Maybe he got a deal from Barstool.
Maybe he was just doing camps. I don't know. We might have to pour one out for the Milano, established in 1981, Colby. So now we're even outlasting these long living spring football teams. Anyway, back to American football.
It is weird. Like, I don't understand why the NFL just doesn't step in, create like NFL minor league, actually run it. Hey, if it doesn't make money, so be it. It's fine. You'll get a way to hype these players up. It seems like the only way that it'll work is if the NFL is involved.
I think that's to me, they're trying. UFL's trying too much to be the NFL. You don't have the NFL players. To me, like, make it more personal on like it just seems like you're trying to copy a format, but guess what? You don't have Mahomes. You don't have these guys that.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Have fun with it, but I think the NFL is the only company that could, operate this thing as a loss and not have it go under. We'll see.
Like
maybe
the WNBA, you're saying.
Yeah,
well, more like the G League. More like the idea
G
that you have now another place where, whether it's practice, again, you're an NFL team, right? You have a whole practice squad. It would make sense to have those practice squad guys have somewhere to play football in the spring. I think there's this element of you're creating a true minor league. Now, Colby hates it because he wants the league to be different and unique from the NFL, which I get that. But I think you have to do that in more of a grassroots way. The way they're trying to stuff it down our faces in these big stadiums, like, how dumb. Like, if you see, like, again, using the corporate analogy again, the guy with the big relationships and the big suits goes to a small little company and is doing big deals with these companies. He's just to bankrupt his new his new job because he doesn't give a fuck. He's working on commissions. How are these teams not playing in small little, whether it's soccer stadiums, collegiate stadiums? Like they're
I've
making
always
a
wondered that
big mistake.
It's a
play in high
soulless
school
league.
fields.
It is a soulless league. They're trying, like they don't want. And then
Let me you know what? Hold on, Colby. I'll give a shout out to a small spring league that does still make bad scheduling mistakes sometimes, but lacrosse makes every one of their game weekends like a fucking festival, and kids and like it's like, hey, come out, have fun, like enjoy this fucking game. And like even as a kid, like I remember when NFL teams like they do their fan experiences or things, like every home game should be that. Like these dumb motherfuckers think people are going to take time out of their day to spend money to watch this shit football, and it's like you got to get them there for something else. Make it a fucking wine festival. Have some fried chicken. Like get some shit going. Have food trucks.
I love your solution.
They're so dumb. They're not trying
to your point.
This is corporate football.
It was fun. As someone who grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, the Eagles used to do their training camp at Lehigh. So that was a cool fan experience. It was a bonding thing for the team. They should try and recreate that experience. To your point of, hey, autograph sessions, hey, let the kids run around on the field, play it on a small, like they practice at Lehigh football. Why have the games there? Like that's the type of arenas sure, if you fill those up, then go bigger.
Think double-A baseball. You are a double-A baseball team. Small towns, small stadiums, dollar beers.
Yeah,
fucking
dollar beer would be awesome.
There's a lot of things here. Look, you want to feel connection, right? You want to feel connection to your team, right? So by you playing at small stadiums and not at fucking Ford Field sitting 30 rows back, right? Feel connection by doing a local stadium. And then also, how about you play your fucking players that are good the whole game? Once again, this past week, Bryce Perkins didn't even start. Etling gets knocked out of the game. Thankfully, he gets concussed and knocked out of the game because you then see the best quarterback in the league go and fucking shred the team that they're playing. So it's like, but I do wonder this. That Sunday night game got like 1.5 million views. They're owned by a TV company. Are they happy with that then? Are they just content with that loss and just saying we have content, commercial sponsor coming in at 1.5 million on a Master Sunday?
I would imagine that ESPN in some regard views content already, like the fact that they own the content, they probably view it as filler content. That's why the schedule is always stupid. And so they probably, in some ways, they probably don't care about.
Well, also views. Too, I mean, as much as we make fun of the league, getting those kind of ratings are probably decent, and like live sports.
ESPN doesn't care.
Yeah,
they can sell advertising.
ESPN has two things: one, live sports, which is keeping them afloat, and then two, guys yelling at each other. Like that's their only bread and butter as far as ratings. So if it's not Stephen A yelling at someone, it's live sports. And even though it is UFL, we talk about, but still same reason they air all the stuff they air, all the small college stuff, all that stuff. The price point probably makes sense to some degree. Who knows where it'll go from there. All right. Enough of saving the league. Got some picks.
One last thing.
Okay.
More tangential evidence as to why these things are all pyramid schemes.
Yes, they are.
Well, the scandal that came out about the Alabama Beavers, and if you read through it, like it's almost like they're treating it like a fucking beauty pageant, or like where they think people want to play. People want to play football so bad that they're able to scam the players, into footing the bill for shit the team should be paying for. It's like 101 grifting. And so, I mean, if it's happening in the International Football Alliance, it means it's happening anywhere.
It could happen anywhere. If it could happen at the International Football Alliance, which as we pointed out, and there was some questions there. Who is it? The Arkansas Beavers,
CJ Dinkers,
Alabama Beavers, but
the Alabama Beavers.
Don't worry.
Basically, well, real quick, from what I can tell, the only reason this thing even came out is because he scammed Anthony Richardson out of $25,000. AR-15 thought he was going to be part owner of the Beavers, and this guy went as far to like show fake PayPal receipts. Like there was clear and obvious grifting going on.
Yes.
And so, yeah, if people see leagues as ways to just extract value from, I mean, I guess in some ways that's what owners do at the biggest level, but yeah. Anyway, if the IFA is doing it,
could happen anywhere.
I'm just excited for the Chihuahua Rebellion to finally kick the ball off down there. And I got my team. I'm feeling good about the IFA.
Well, yeah, be careful.
They have to figure out how to pay for the ball. Hey, we're giving away more cash. Unlike the UFL, we pay our people, and we're hooking you guys up. Allegedly, the NBA playoffs are here. We're running another great contest. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA playoffs. Very easy. Pick every NBA playoff game against the spread. Winner take all. $1,000 up for grabs. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA playoffs. And of course, shout out to Edge Boost. Ever had your deposit blocked by your bank right before a big bet? Ever needed cash at 2 a.m. for another shot at the tables, but hit your ATM limit? I've been there. Edge Boost has your back. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors. Edge Boost gives you fast, reliable access to your funds, making it easier to move money when and where you need it without the delays that can come with traditional banks. For you high rollers, you can move up to $250,000 a day on your Edge Boost Visa debit card with unlimited withdrawals. This works 24/7 for instant deposits. Never wait for a wire to clear. Again, it gets better every time you deposit into qualified gambling account. You can earn cashback rewards up to 0.5%. All this for no usage fees and no minimum balance. Edge Boost is a debit account that makes it easy to get started with no credit checks, no minimum balance, and no usage fees. Simply verify your identity and you're ready to go. Finally, Edge Boost has a suite of responsible gambling tools to help you manage your bankroll and make informed decisions. What are you waiting for? Go to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN, edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Sign up for Edge Boost today. And of course, shout out to mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to get down on all the action, including the United Football League. Oh, we got the NBA playoffs on a nice run. Hopefully you tuned in to the preview we did with the NBA Gambling Podcast guys. Tried to talk them into getting on those Miami Heat. Gave out the Mavs money line as my dog. Big cash. That was a plus 170
nice.
Over on mybookie.ag.
Easy money.
And if you, of course, get the 100% match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply on the bonusing. Head over to mybookie.ag and use that promo code SGPN.
Sean, let's not forget we got. What is happening here? Let's not forget we got to do a money bag at the end of the show.
Yes, the MyBookie money bag, super fun.
What's going on, Colby? Where'd you get that thing? You're reading?
Just reading a Joe Gibbs. It says bet on the Birmingham Stallions. Take their future odds now. I think plus 270 still out there available. You got all this coaching turnover. I'll take. I mean, how great are our future plays? By the way, if you got in the beginning of the year with the Renegades and the Stallions, even the Michigan Panthers. Now that Etling is out for a lot of time.
Oh, Colby, that's
a blessing in disguise. Like. Yeah, can we talk about that? That was an injury that saved the league, maybe, because now we're gonna get Bryce Perkins.
One injury away, as they say, from being a good team. And speaking of the Panthers, first game up, Kramer, what do we got? Friday night football.
Again. I'll give a little bit of a compliment to the league. They have been consistent. Friday night, they're giving us UFL football every week.
Yeah.
Showboats, Panthers in the big dome, like we were talking about. Maybe not the best. Colby almost forgot. I'm not going to forget, Colby. I know you love your slides. Slide master almost forgot his slides.
Panthers thing. That thing is beautiful.
It is. It's and here I am.
I like how you have the old logo. Oh, because the USFL is the conference
franchise. I got the UFL in there too, and this USFL. Michigan Panthers is a USFL team. They're trying to steal it. It is still and always will be a USFL team. So had to throw that in there.
Colby, I like the final product. Incorporated some of my notes. Total at 35.5. The slide master was doing some collaboration. So you mentioned the Panthers, and in the beginning of the season, I was famously saying that this could be the best roster in the league.
Well, they have a good defense,
and when you look at who the
Panthers have an idiot coach.
Yes, that's the problem. Who insisted on not playing Bryce Perkins, who was their best quarterback. But as you mentioned, Ryan, that now with the Danny Etling injury, it clears the path for the Panthers.
And they're also 2-1 with the only loss coming to the Stallions, coming off a loss, and that was in hindsight an obvious get up spot there for Birmingham. This is still one of the best teams in the league. I still don't think you love laying a big number with them.
But do you feel good about EJ Perry and the Memphis Showboats?
Why is he starting? God.
But the defensive line, final point, defensive line for the Panthers is going to dominate this game in a way where a defensive score is in play. So how do we handle that? I think we just have to lay the points. I think we just have to take the under.
Colby, what are you doing?
I'm just of the belief that the Showboats have a new offensive coordinator. That is a little tricky. I mean,
they lost to the Roughnecks. They lost to the Roughnecks.
They almost beat DC the week before, though. I gotta take the points. I don't know. Like
you don't have.
Why are they starting EJ Perry? Like, how much data do you need to realize the other guy Williams is better when you have a guy that is willing to run the ball?
Yeah, they already played this game, the first game of the season, right?
Did they play the first game of the season?
Yeah.
26-12. Now they're at home. I mean, they were laying 4.5 in Memphis. Now they're only laying 7.5 at home.
And Wisenhunt wasn't there in that game either.
Yeah.
Well, and if you remember, how did this? It was a little bit of a backdoor situation. Like it was a real blowout, and Memphis scored late.
Yeah, Memphis is going to get their ass kicked. I'm laying the 7.5 with the Panthers. You're crazy to take the Showboats, Colby.
Well, I just am hoping. Okay, so EJ Perry last week.
Hope is not a plan.
Makes sense.
We're not
makes
Barack
sense of this.
Obama in 2008.
Makes sense of this. One guy passed 13 of 20, 6.6 yards of completion, 2 interceptions though with 1 touchdown, and he didn't really do anything on the ground. The other guy comes in just eight throws, 4 of 8, but 8 yards of completion, no turnovers, and then he runs for almost 40 yards, almost 9 yards of rush and a touchdown. You fucking idiots. Like, one strikes fear in the defense because of his mobility.
It is very odd.
No, and especially for the spring football leagues, guys who are dual threat quarterbacks should always get the start because again, it's tough to prepare. These guys a lot of times don't know the system. They're not in sync. And he's
completing further down the field too, so it's a more exciting of a product. It's really mind numbing. I'm counting on him. They're going to play this 2 quarterback system, right? Because EJ Perry's terrible, and after they go scoreless the first 2 drives, they'll bring in Williams. They'll cover this number. Michigan will win the game. 7.5 is a gigantic number in this league, man. That's like 21 points in NFL, right? Like, give me the 7.5. Michigan wins. And as far as the total, you see, last week we had the overs kind of kill it there, depending on where you got that second game's number. Give me the over.
Over 35.5, and the Panthers. Or sorry, in the Showboats, I'm laying the 7.5 with the Panthers.
You doing anything with the total? So from what I can tell, this opened up at 8.
I told myself I wasn't going to play any totals this week because this league is fucking.
Yeah, it might be time to back. All right, so let's back off the totals. I'm good.
I'm not touching the totals.
What do you mean? I've been on point with these totals all year. I'm in on these totals.
So from what I can tell,
you were 2-2 last week.
I'm looking at the looking at some data. So this number, DK opened it at 8.5, circa at 8. It seems as though Memphis has taken all the money. So Memphis is the popular side right now.
So we can fade the public and fade Ken Wisenhunt's replacement, who Coley doesn't even know, and take the Panthers,
Jim
who
Turner.
only
Good old Jim Turner,
and the Panthers only have Bryce Perkins. That was week 1 was when they were still.
Well,
playing
they signed Alan Bowman, who was in college 20 years. You know, I don't know that he can know the playbook. That is true. I guess that is probably why the line's so big. They're like, Perkins has to play. He's the best player in the league. Right. Let's set this number at 7.5 because the best player in the league is gonna play the whole game. Surprisingly, you're making a lot of sense there on that. I'm still taking the points, but it does make sense.
I don't. Yeah. So I think we should probably have some sort of rule where if the coach doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, I don't know if that's
or a LinkedIn. I couldn't find his LinkedIn either.
Does he have? I think I found him on X.
He was promoted to regional manager right before he became the head coach.
All right, so Jim Turner. So this is his X profile. I got to bring this up. We pause everything. This is worth showing, because he's one of these guys that just puts everything. Look at this, Sean. Oh wait, not on screen yet. All right. Oh, Colby, we gotta take your slides down. That's the problem. Look at this guy. So he's Jim Turner / JT's O-line LLC.
Is he selling some memorabilia in the background?
Yeah, he really into Larry Bird.
Hit me up if you want to autograph Larry Bird jersey.
He loves
Brett Favre. There's a Brett
Larry
Favre.
Bird. I feel like he's trying to make a social message almost. At Jim Turner _OL. JT-OL.com, pumping the product. I like that. O-line, all caps, obviously. O-line coach NFL, USFL, SEC, Big 12, Big East.
How does he not have UFL in here?
Sunbelt, Ivy, Yankee,
Oh, the Yankee
Atlantic
conference.
10, high school, U.S. Marine Corps. Okay. 11.8K. And he's
this
active.
guy's great. Look at him right here.
Play his video. Hold on.
This is for players and coaches. Okay, so as you can see, right, in the website that I set up, you have all kinds of different subjects, right? Forget these three for now. I'm just talking about the
Him showing a website, but like treating it like a playboard is amazing.
winter time and teaching you how to coach the position and play the position. So if you go to jt-ol.com, you're going to see this come up and hit teach tapes right here. So I made some teach tapes for you, right? And those teach tapes, okay, range
Just
from
went off
$10
camera.
Teach tapes.
to $50, right?
$10.
Can I tell you how funny it is? Like in a modern time this is like the guy who takes a picture of his monitor to do the screenshot, right? He's recording a camera of the video just because he wants to be able to point at the screen to show you the boxes.
My bet feels better knowing there's teach tapes out there.
I don't like fading this.
Coach Tube. What is Coach Tube?
Everything you need to know about O-line play. There's your wide zone.
Really?
There's your line drills. 6-man half, 5-step protection.
Colby,
Again,
Kramer, I think
It's a
we
money
found
line
a
play,
new-
Sean.
Well, maybe for maybe instead of giving Colby a bonus, we give him we buy him a run game overview by Jim Turner for $30.
What is wow? Okay,
I'm all on board. That is
shit, Coach Tube. Oh, when the wife's out of town, fire up Coach Tube. Kramer, make sure you open Coach Tube in incognito window. I don't want my wife seeing my browsing history.
What other kind of football?
Wow. Colby
coaching
loves
can
the
we get?
softball videos on Coach Tube. I think it's coaches selling videos on how to coach.
I just like how they went with the the tube.
Yeah.
That feels hopefully this was created before the porn sites.
YouTube, RedTube. I think they just figured Coach Tube. click on lacrosse, right?
Whoa, Andy Reid. What? Nick Saban. Okay, this is legitimate.
Click on the Andy Reid one. Is this actually Andy Reid or it's like a guy who knew Andy Reid? All right. What is this?
Oh wait.
Oh, you can get the free preview of Coach Tube.
Why I think O-line coaches make great head coaches, and there's some reasons for that here. I just wrote a few of these down, and
Coach Leach was an O-line coach.
This is Andy Reid with a PowerPoint presentation
of men.
The grind. We understand
getting
toughness.
them to reach their potential.
Okay, I am very intrigued. We might need to do some more coach tubing.
Yeah. Okay.
This is almost like
That's a good Patreon.
We just subscribe to a coach tube and watch it.
Makes or we coach CJ up. We use Coach Tube to get.
I like that. The grind. We understand toughness.
I mean, if you're listening to the audio, you should probably. This is a good opportunity to go to YouTube.
Get in.
All right. Should we get back to it?
Jerome Boger's booger sugar saying LOL Coach Lube. He made a little let's see what you did there. So Kramer, it sounds like you're on the Panthers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Panthers rider.
I mean, wait. After watching that video, Jim Turner, you're just going to float on there and say the Panthers are going to lay 7.5?
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly. I mean, the guy's on social media. He posted a month ago. That's
he's going to be scrolling on his phone. He's got orders. The coach tube orders the process. He's got to engage with his community. He's not going to be actually coaching. Come on.
I love the idea that
those who do, what was the expressions? Those who can't teach, and then those who can't coach are on coach tube.
I mean, like honestly though, how did we not know about this until right now?
I mean,
this feels like we stumbled.
Yeah, Colby, come on, you're the UFL expert, and we're just learning about coach tube.
I didn't know Jim Turner was out there. I searched his LinkedIn, couldn't find it.
Well, that's what I mean. He's not very. You need a deep dive. So, all right, yeah, on Michigan, we're passing on the totals, right? Final answer, and worth noting, you can.
I'm on Colby's
not. Yeah, you can still get Michigan plus 650 on the future. Same price it was before the season. They're going to be 3-1 after this week. The price is going to start going down. Like it's quite. They're the 5th favorite right now. What are we doing? They arguably the best defense. Granted, they did lose to the team in their division they would have to play. 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. on Saturday.
Set your alarms.
Again, at least the UFL has been consistent with the game times. Maybe the game of the weekend, Battlehawks head to Arlington to take on the Renegades, who are somehow home dogs. Oh, we got to do. We got to get the slides back on the screen. And they should not be home dogs. This is this is the wrong team favored.
Well, Battlehawks look bad at home. And that's usually like the time at least for me, I feel comfortable playing them at home.
And the tallest total on the board, 39.5.
They look like shit at home. I mean, they only put up 15 points against the Defenders team. They really weren't in that game. They were laying 6.5. Maybe this is a bounce back spot for the Battlehawks, but I don't know, man. Arlington seems to be but also Arlington. Do you feel great now? The point is Arlington played Birmingham, so you're never going to look good playing Birmingham in Birmingham. But probably to your point, Kramer, why are the Battlehawks road favorites? I'm struggling to understand whose power rankings are these spreads based off of. Colby, what are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm all over Arlington here. St. Louis, to me, one of the things I talked about on last week's show too was like I was a little bit. Had there not been Greg Williams leaving, I would have taken DC. That just the only thing that threw me off because DC has just been. They're a physical team, and St. Louis, for whatever reason, I know Tony Meatball is a former tight end, but they've been a finesse team, really in his whole tenure. And Manny Wilkins hasn't stretched the field out as much as the previous quarterback from Bama that I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, AJ McCarron. But I question the toughness of St. Louis as a team. They beat the 2 worst teams in the league, and yes, they blew out one of them, but whatever. They suck, like those teams, the 7th and 8th ranked teams suck. So I don't know.
Yeah. Also too, to your point, Colby, like if you're betting on the Battlehawks, you're still buying them relatively high because they played back-to-back home games. And even though they lost by 12 points at home against the Defenders, they're still road favorites against Arlington, who has looked really good. This line doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, better coach, Bob Stoops by far. And then to me, like that Arlington, man, I mean, they almost won. They probably should have won that game in Birmingham. Their defensive line's really good. I think it might be the 2nd best defensive line in the league. And they got the King of Spring. And I know you guys have been reading up on his stuff, but I think they got the better quarterback. They got the better defense. I trust their physicality a little bit more too. So yeah, all over it.
I didn't want to bring this up. I haven't spoken about this on the air yet, but I did get a hard copy version of this.
Really?
I've not opened it once yet, but at some point we are getting this. This is being autographed by Luis Perez at some point.
If we can be lucky.
If we can only be so, I'm pretty confident we're going to get the deal done. My plan, Sean, is to just basically hit him up and say, next time you're in Vegas, come on, Beast, and promote your book.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's not going to
rolling
turn
out
that
the red carpet.
He's not going to turn that invite down.
I kind of also like the, I told myself I would stay away from totals, but 39.5 feels high. I don't know if you can trust this. I don't know if you can trust this Battlehawks offense on the road outside the comfy confines of the dome. I'm tossing in under 39.5. Sounds like Colby does as well. Kramer, you got any interest on the total? I have you down for Arlington official.
Obviously on Arlington, wrong team favorite. I don't know. I would not feel. You know what? Just put me down for all the unders again.
Really?
Yeah, I'll play the board. I'm not going to just do one or two. It's only week 4.
Well, I don't get break that.
All right. Of course, shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Speaking of unders, Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN gets you a sweet deposit bonus up to $1,000 in bonus credits. I mean, every time I open up the Underdog Fantasy app, they got profit boosts. They got what did they? I'm drowning in boosts over here over on Underdog Fantasy, and they do have UFL now. Unfortunately, the fantasy projections don't post until.
No, I have some right now.
Oh, you do? Oh, they already have them out. Usually they don't. But what do you got, Colby?
They trust the league a little bit more.
And I forgot to tweet it out. My apologies, but I hit on EJ Perry lower 152.5 passing yards and Anthony Brown lower 139.5 passing yards last week. Because especially anytime where they might be involved in a split situation, they can only make those numbers so low. But Colby, what do you suggest in the UFL here?
What number did you get EJ Perry last week? You said.
It was like 140
because
it's
or something. 80 and a half this week.
Yeah,
80 and a half.
They're onto it. They're onto it.
No, I'm gonna just bounce over to the wide receiver position. Jonathan Adams, one of the best wideouts in the league. He plays for Memphis. I know it's a little shaky with that offense coordinator. It's been there 24 hours, but I think higher than 59.5 passing yards is an angle that I like. You look at what he does each and every week. I feel like
receiving yards.
Yes. Yeah, receiving yards. What did I say?
Passing yards. All right, we got you.
All right, sorry. And then I'm gonna jump over to the give me the lower 30.5 rushing yards for Bryce Perkins. The Etling's already injured. They don't want Perkins to be running the ball too much. So lower 30.5 rushing yards for Bryce Perkins. I think that's the play.
Really?
Just for this game, because they're not going to want him to run him because Bowman doesn't know the playbook yet. Although I think these playbooks are like pass right,
that feels
pass
cute, right?
left.
Feels a little cute, Colby.
Are we sure?
All right, I'll see you on the gridiron.
I'll play this, but don't we want to play? Don't we think? Don't we think we can get? Yeah, I don't know. I'll play around with some of the other
That's
stuff.
That's the only game they offer right now. So it's like you're stuck with that game. Yeah.
All right. Well, tune in over on X. Sure, Colby will be tweeting out a underdog entry day of maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, maybe Easter Sunday. Wake up early, fire out an underdog entry, Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. And of course, we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is gonna bet you, as our buddy CJ likes to say, and why not, man? Perfect for the NBA playoffs, player prop projections, game predictions, personalized AI betting models. I've been on a nice run here in the association, and a lot of it is thanks to Rhythm. Rhythm's great, especially for the player props. Let the machines do the heavy lifting, and use the code SGPN 25% off the monthly plan. If you go for the full annual, SGPN 50% off annual. And of course, if you want the free 7-day trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM, get in over there. And it makes it way easy. And the modeling I know what you think. Like, I don't know shit about modeling. You don't have to. You just adjust the sliders. Like, hey, these stats matter for me. These stats don't. They build you a model and then they back test it and show you how profitable it would have been. Download the Rhythm app today, SGPN 25 or SGPN 50.
All right. Moving along to the Saturday afternoon game, 4 p.m. down in Houston, Texas. Is this a night game?
It is
6 p.m. local time. Why would they? I mean, the Roughnecks haven't exactly been getting people coming out to the park.
Well, they're off a win.
Yeah, that's true. Stallions laying 7.5 on the road here. Minus 395 on the money line. Roughnecks plus 310. 36.5 is the total. This one I legitimately like the total. Somehow the Roughnecks have been playing half competent defense, and the Stallions are going to shut down the Roughnecks. Obvious. Now, as far as laying the points, I feel like I've been a donkey with the Stallions this year. Not been handling it well. So my instincts say I'm laying 7.5 again, but I'll allow Colby the chance as I don this Roughneck sweatshirt. Am I backing the Roughnecks for a second straight week, Colby?
I wouldn't. I mean, especially probably less prep time. I know he says Nolan Henderson's the starter. The former Delaware Blue Hen, he played well. He's like, hey, we got a starting quarterback. They did cut that tight end too. That he was wondering how to get on the field. Curtis Johnson,
pretty funny.
How's he on the field? What's he doing on the field?
Don't put that guy in the game again.
There's a great.
How is he not one of the coaches that's left?
Yeah. But no, Skip Holtz, I'm all over Birmingham. I'm going to lay the 7.5.
Really? Even with Birmingham's offense, I mean, that to me is kind of scary. Stallions had 10 points at home. Stallions had 21 points at Michigan, and then they only had 11 points at the Defenders. Like their offense is not really clicking. They have some turnover issues. I know you said that Renegade should have won. They did get the cover, but Birmingham also fumbled on the 2. Like I don't know, man. It feels like the Stallions team is in kind of cruise control a little bit, and I think they can play with their food here a little bit. And Houston might keep this closer than people suspect. You think Birmingham blows them out here, Colby?
I mean, yeah, I just feel like Houston. First off, Birmingham's defense is actually really good. I think they'll shut down that Houston offense, and then I don't think they'll be as bad. Like they left a lot of points on the board. And one of the things I just think in general with I think Corral will play a little easier in this. And then Birmingham's played the 3 best defenses in the league. So I think their numbers are all skewed. They played DC week 1, Michigan week 2, and Arlington week 3. I think those are the 3 best defenses in the league other than Birmingham. So I think the offense might open up a little bit here.
Roughnecks held the Renegades to 11 points. I think the Roughnecks, as much as we've clowned them, rightfully so. Yeah, they got their ass kicked week 1, but week 2 and week 3, they're playing a little better. I'm taking the home dog here plus 7.5. Kramer, you're already on the under 36.5. What side do you take?
I think last week was probably a lucky win for me. I'm with Colby. I think this is just like there's 2 classes in the U.S. In years past, there's been 3 classes, and Birmingham's been separate from the other teams. But I think there's just 2 classes this year. Roughnecks are a second class team. Birmingham's a first class team, and I lay the points because again, I think there's some very big defensive matchups on the line there. Just like I said about Michigan, potential for a defensive touchdown.
I don't know. I'm sticking with the Roughnecks. I think Birmingham, they're playing with their food. Give me the Roughnecks plus 7.5 as the home dog.
And I wanted to see what the splits were on this one. All right. So more people. Wow. 52% on Houston. People chasing that glory of victory.
52%. Come on. That's right down the middle.
It's 100%.
100%.
100% are on the Roughnecks.
Yeah, and
they've taken no Stallions.
Who is betting a UFL at the Circus? Some of the sharpest.
They've taken no money on the Stallions. Good luck, Sean.
Yeah. So you want to be opposite the sharps over with Circa?
Yes. No, well, we've seen it. Every single move in the UFL has been wrong. So I would say that the Sharps have not been having a good year in the UFL. Not us, but the Sharps you're talking about. The people going to the counter at the circuit. All right, last one. So wait, you're taking. All right, you really did clown me too last week for taking Houston.
Yeah, no, I thought I thought they were
pretty strong words.
One of the worst teams in the league, but this to me is classic handicapping 101. Stallions will be a sleepy spot on the road against a team with nothing to lose.
Total's a lock potential here. Brahmas Defenders Sunday 2 p.m. in the nation's capital. So we're officially down to 2 real home field edges: St. Louis and DC. Birmingham. If you didn't tune into the Birmingham game, embarrassing. That's not a home edge. That's not a home field advantage. You're off the list.
In the books too. They said 10,000 fans. They're my ass.
Oh my god!
Get the fuck
Did you see they
here.
did that big reveal, the championship banner? There were like 6 guys, in the stands, and they were the ones helping to pull out the banner. That was crazy.
Come on. That's all right. So one of the two. So we get one true home field experience. It's the Sunday experience. The beer snake will be out. One note I would go to the broadcast with would be maybe less direct interaction with the beer snake people. It's like a zoo animal. You want to look at it. You don't want to engage with it. Brahma's catching a full touchdown here. Plus 260 on the money line. Minus 325 for the Defenders. 38.5. Oh, Colby slides his 37. 38.5 is the total now. Little movement there. People betting the over. Interesting. Sick DC logo there. I mean, so I do want to respect the fact that they have a home edge that is clearly influential. But I also don't know if I want to lay a touchdown with DC. They did look good last week, and I also want to make sure I'm fading recency bias when possible. But it could be a pretty good gap here. DC has looked like one of the better teams in the league. What are we doing, Colby?
Yeah, I'm going to take the points. Peyton Pardee, obviously his dad, Redskin legend. Anthony McFarland played at Maryland,
the old guy
right up the road.
Yeah, of course.
Well, no, I just think DC.
What do we expect this Kellen Mond Anthony McFarland split to look like?
Well, I'm hoping that they take out Kellen Mond a little more. But
yeah, that's the concern.
Now that he's the head coach, I think he can do it. Last week he was playing like, well, Wade wants Kellen Mond. Now, hey, it's your show. All right, so I'll take the points. I think the money line's live. DC, go back 2 games ago. Our Memphis almost got them. They're coming off a huge emotional win, similar to week 1 after Skip Holtz had called that guy a bellboy. And then,
did he ever do that? What was
no,
that
he said he didn't. He said he didn't, but somebody told him he's a bellboy.
Do you think he thought
just
that
a guy who looked like?
Do you think he thought it was Lou Holtz? And
yeah, what did Lou Holtz have to say, Colby?
He said this.
Well, I don't get.
I am not a bellman.
Yeah, I just think it's a letdown spot for DC, and I don't think they're super elite. So give me San Antonio plus the 7. I think money line's live, and I will take that over.
I will say, yeah, I'm still confused about this DC team. Like I want to think they're good. This feels like a tough spot for them. I've laid big numbers twice already. I think maybe we go back to the window with the Brahmas, even though we cashed last week.
Yeah, no, Brahmas are, I think I'm going to say competent team, even though they are trying out Kellen Mond for more than he deserves.
Well, Colby has a good, I mean, maybe they won't anymore.
Well, and yeah, they looked really bad week 1 and week 2. Week 3 finally got a little bit of that going. They got rid of the dead weight known as Wade Phillips.
Scoring
new coach bumped. I don't know if they have that in the UFL. It would be every other week, but I'm taking the Brahmas in the 7.
I think it's fair. Yeah. Fair to say that scoring that many points against the Panthers is certainly impressive.
Yeah. I just don't think the Defenders should be laying 7 against this Brahmas team. So.
This is right in the middle of my power rankings now between DC and San
Where
Antonio.
are those power rankings going?
The slide master promises at some point to start making slides.
Oh, okay. All right.
I want to. Well, we'll see. I want to make sure the league is around. I don't want to just put in all that work and then.
Well, I stopped doing them because we were just sending the power rankings to ourselves.
Well, I posted them on the
really?
social media,
Well,
just as text.
Oh, okay. No,
for my fans who like the UF. I mean, there's people out there that require my UFL take, so I put it out there.
J Mark from the Old Fashioned Football Podcast and the UFL Gambling Podcast pointing out, Colby, it's week 4. The league isn't leaving this year.
Oh, boy.
J Mark, that is, you got to be careful.
What a simp.
As someone who's seen multiple spring leagues collapse, it's not over till it's over.
What a jinx.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
J Mark, you're really jinxing them. So
maybe J Mark can help motivate the slide master to
get the power rankings out.
Yeah,
All right, 3 locks and a
3
dog.
locks. Wow, Sean, you like locks?
Oh, I thought 2 locks made sense, but you guys want to do 3.
Right.
Kramer, what do you got?
Clip this, Adi. Sean wants less picks.
Somehow you went 4-4 last week and 0-3 on your locks.
That was crazy. That
very impressive.
That was, but I mean, could you point out that I hit my dog?
Yes, you hit your money line dog.
Right, framing it as negative as possible. Not very cool.
No, it's
lock
it's
number
funny.
1, Birmingham under. Lock number 2.
Sorry, Birmingham under 36.5.
Lock number 2. We got a couple options here.
What's happening to the screen? Okay.
No, we want to show your face, Colby. Lock number 2. Or put Arlington on there. That they should be favored. That's a ridiculous situation. Lock number 3. I don't really want to do 2 totals in one day. So Michigan lay the big number.
Guys, I think we're gonna have to be a Prairie View fan. I sent you a great thing there on the Panther Prairie View Panther. Subscribe to the FCS College Football Experience. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that third number 3 there. But yeah. So wait, your lock was who?
Colby stepping all over my lock.
Yeah, your third lock is Michigan Panthers.
To then
and what's your money line?
Send me some fucking image. Is this what you're talking about, Colby?
Yeah, Tremaine Jackson, the coach of the Prairie View Panthers. They'll be around longer than the Michigan Panthers, guarantee. But
I see why you brought it up. Got it.
I mean, how great is number 3 there, right? So this is his Panther Portal Understanding Guide. Can we use this at SGPN, guys? Make sure you address my staff as coach and not bro or by first or last name. Don't ask me for NIL, which we do have, by the way.
When PFF has you as taking less than 200 snaps on the year, you should have gotten your money from them. Now it's time to play.
I think in general, this is good. I think you need stuff like this to remind people how to act. I think young people are ridiculous in the way they throw around pro. And I appreciate him setting the tone. I mean, you walk around any college program in the land, they have a ridiculous amount of signs repeating the same shit over and over again. That's just coach.
Although I do think he's a little young where he goes, when I follow you, there's a 4-hour window to follow me back or we're done.
That is a little strange. That's number 1 too. Number 1 is when I follow you, there's a 4-hour window to follow back or we're done.
Well,
is that?
Well, I know that.
That's a little aggro in my book.
Yeah.
But again, modern times, you gotta, these kids are all kind of think they're hot shit. So you got to send a serious message. Let's go Brahmas on the big money line. Why not?
Ooh,
why not?
And the San Antonio Brahmas plus 260 on the money line.
Sean, some are saying that I'm 2-1 on my money line dog.
Many are saying that.
I could extend that to 3-1 with a big.
For my lock, Michigan Panthers laying the 7.5. Arlington plus 1.5.
Just copy my third one too, and then call it a day.
Houston plus 7.5 as an. You know what? Actually, no. I do like the Brahmas plus 7 as my lock. And then for my money line dog. Arlington's a little yapper. I'll say let's go with I will do Arlington money line with the under on a parlay for my dog.
What's wild is like I was randomly logged into the betting account for no good reason on a Tuesday, and I noticed the UFL numbers were already out. So I
really,
yeah,
you already got down on these, right?
some of these I got down slightly better number, but that's all right. We don't need to talk about it.
Colby, what do you got? 3 locks and a dog.
I will lock up Birmingham -7.5. I will lock up Arlington +1.5.
Birmingham -7.5. Arlington +1.5.
Yeah, and then I will lock up. Give me the. Let's go with the under in the Birmingham Houston game.
Yeah,
the Birmingham under.
That's a big time
set at 36.5.
Big time.
Co-signing that with Kramer.
And the dog, I think, is the Brahmas. I think it's a great time to catch DC. So, yeah. Let's go.
Brahmas on the money line. All righty, everyone. Hey, make sure you get in on our free NBA picks contest, picking every NBA playoff game against the spread. Kramer and I are going to be doing a bonus NBA playoff podcast tomorrow, noon Pacific, with the guys from the NBA Gambling Podcast. Of course, we got the VSiN show tomorrow night, 11 o'clock East, late nights. Stream it live, YouTube TV, Sirius XM.
Very special VSiN show, I was told this week.
Oh yes, we are doing a
special
draft spectacular. So if you've been slacking on the draft, well, one, go back and check out our podcast. Just did a marathon episode with CJ Sullivan, aka Man in the Box, breaking down a ton of picks, first position stuff. The NFL draft is so fucking fun to bet on. Highly recommend getting down over there.
Well, I was gonna say you almost need to, again, if you're not watching on YouTube, highly recommend checking it out on YouTube, or I guess your podcast app has this too. But check out some of the chapter names with CJ. So.
Yes, and make sure you check out the Dr. Phil rewatch over on the Patreon, the bonus SGP stories episode with the Man in the Box. Get that sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Toss us a nice rating review over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your pods. And of course, check out the college experience. Colby Dant and Mac hitting a bunch of the offseason portal news, state of the team, a lot of good stuff before the 130 something team previews begin. So
36 this year. More. It was 34 last year. Next year will be 37 with Sac State announcing they're going FBS.
Look out. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Sean, or excuse me, Colby, have a good haircut.
Kramer, let it ride.